Hi 316 News. I think being faithfulness is being consistent and steadfast, always having a sense of believing in God. Whether you're on a high or you're going through a struggling phase, being faithfulness is always trusting and believing in Jesus.
Faithfulness means to me having faith in Jesus, not letting you turn away from your faith and really trusting that He is faithful in every situation that you go through.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Rob, and today I'm speaking about faithfulness. Right, so far throughout this whole series of the Fruit of the Spirits, everybody I've asked, nobody said faithfulness is their favourite. So yeah, we're gonna the show goes on. We're gonna roll with it. But yeah, I think most of you could tell me what being faithful is. A lot of the time, I think people associate it with just relationships, with marriage, even just loyal friendships. But I think as a Christian, a lot of the times being faithful can just be referred to as sticking to the rules, and therefore as soon as you break these rules, you are unfaithful. But it's really much more than that. In the Bible, there's loads of people who were faithful, but who also made mistakes. Some of those, for example, would be David, Paul, and Peter. And these are all really strong, faithful followers of God. However, they did make bad mistakes. But I think it would be wrong to sum up them and their whole lives as being unfaithful just based on their worst mistakes. There's a verse which I really like, which is Hebrews 11 verse 6, which says it's impossible to please God without faith. And I like it because it's simple and it clearly shows we need to have faith in our relationship with God. Now, for me, my journey with being faithful is is an interesting one. About a year and a half ago, I was probably at one of my worst seasons of faithfulness. I was going out a lot, I was partying and just getting myself into bad situations where a lot of the time I'd be thinking, how did I even end up here? And yeah, I would generally just push everything to the limit. If I had any work or anything due in, I'd leave it last minute. Yeah, in fact, I'm actually recording this video the day before it's due, so that's quite a good example. But yeah, I had a quite a bad mindset. Generally, everything I do, I'd go about in a kind of a hard and fast mindset. I'd throw myself into everything. A bit like the story of the tortoise and the hare, I was very much the hare. I had a very hard and fast mindset into things, which was it's good for some things. It's great for my fitness, um, but yeah, not so good for other things. For example, some of you may know a year ago, me and Wayne did a marathon. And some of you might know, Wayne did very well in his marathon. I did not do so well. I got 15 miles in, and I actually had to stop. I couldn't take it anymore, and yeah, I didn't complete my marathon, which I was very upset about and angry about. And for so long, I just assumed. I said to myself, clearly, I just wasn't fit enough. That was the reason I didn't do it. But upon reflection, that was not the reason I did not complete my marathon. You get middle-aged men and women, and you get some old people doing marathons. And yeah, it wasn't because I wasn't fit enough, it wasn't because I wasn't young enough. It was purely down to my mindset. The way I went about my marathon was completely wrong. I set out for a fast time, so fast that I couldn't actually complete it. When preparing, the furthest I'd ran was 17 miles. And the marathon is 26, so I just casually assumed on the day I'd be able to run an extra 9, which didn't happen. Yeah, it's not really a surprise I didn't make it round in the end, but I set out to do that marathon so I could go home and brag to my friends. I thought it'd be really cool if I can go and say I got a really good time. Oh, it was easy. I just thought that'd sound really cool. And yeah, in chasing this time, I sacrificed doing the whole thing. And yeah, I was just going through a season of making a habit of bad choices. And I'm sure the same with the marathon, the same with the going out and everything. I'm sure if I was going to church and actively seeking God, I wouldn't have got myself in some of these situations I did. If I had a more faithful mindset, the chances are I would have just thought through my decisions more. I would have made better choices, and I probably would have saved myself a lot of embarrassment. And I think I just would have gone about things a different way, and overall, it would have been a lot smoother and easier ride if I had just thought about my actions and decisions in a more holy manner. And if I had just really prayed more, if I had gone to church more, if I had just been more faithful, I could have saved myself a lot of grief. One thing I have learned also is from doing my internship and just trying to be the best version of myself, trying to improve my relationship with God, reading my Bible, just getting stuck in with good things, is when we're being faithful to Jesus, it ultimately does make our lives better, more fulfilling, and just worthwhile. Another verse I really like is Psalms 89, where it says, "I will sing mercies of the Lord forever. With my mouth will I make known thy faithfulness to all generations." I just really like that verse. And one of my main messages of this talk is it's okay to make mistakes. It doesn't make you unfaithful as a person. But if you want a really good relationship with God, you overall have to just be consistent, approach everything hard with a good mindset, and just trust that God has got you and God is for you. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Sorry that was slightly shorter than usual. It is freezing in this garage. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in a bit.